Hello everyone, I'm Rinzing. Today I wanted to talk about and discuss about a very interesting topic that is doing rounds, that is women posting the black and white photos on social media. I'm sure most of you must have been noticing that women are posting the black and white pictures with the caption "Challenge Accepted" or "Women for Women" or "Women Supporting Women." So first such picture was uploaded by a Brazilian journalist, Ana Paula Pedro, on July 17th. She further nominated other women, and the challenge just gained momentum, and after that we had various other influential celebrities like Eva Longoria, Christian Bell, Jennifer Garner, and when you look at our home country, we also have Sara Ali Khan, Tapsi Pannu, a famous journalist Fayed D'Souza, and also Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, politicians doing and taking up the challenge. I'm sure most of you must also be aware of how this, like the agenda behind the black and white photo being uploaded and its origin. But just trying to, dig a little bit deeper into its origin and what the heavy meaning that it carries more than what is actually being, written in social media about its origin and meaning is it first came into being in 2016, the challenge, a black and white challenge, in order to raise cancer awareness. But now when you look at it, it first originated in Turkey, it is believed, where women every day have to see, murdered women and women being raped and women being assaulted in black and white color in their TVs or in social media. So by putting up such black and white pictures of themselves, it is symbolically trying to convey the message that it can be any one of us tomorrow who is murdered and who is being shown in black and white in their TVs. Turkey also happens to be a place where femicide is the highest, and just recently the recent case of Pinar Guletin, a 27-year-old who was found missing from 16th of July, and 20th of July it was found that she was brutally murdered by her former partner. And when you look at Turkey and its the organization that actually helps in fighting injustices, gender-based injustices, which is We Are There for Femicide, a body organization, also has recorded by 2019 that there were around 472 such cases of women being murdered and their bodies just merely being thrown away at a riverside or roadside or seaside or at a beach or at their own homes. So it's not something that is very new to Turkey, and such assaults and murders happens like almost on an everyday account in Turkey. But another such people believed that this black and white movement actually originated because recently the congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was actually called a fucking bitch, a sexist remark which was passed on by Ted Yoho, a representative in the House, and women all over the country heard of her influential speech and her influential thought on what should be retaliated to Ted Yoho, and taking up the momentum further, women showing solidarity and dissent towards such sexism and sexist remark further went on to upload the picture. And another such belief is also Susan Sarandon, a famous Hollywood actress, also took up the challenge in order to show her dissent towards black atrocities. A recent in March 20th, Breonna Taylor was brutally killed by through police atrocity. And in order to show her solidarity towards that, she actually went on to upload pictures. So the underlying problem we can actually drive home from all such cases is that it is simply a digital revolution, which is taking up momentum in order to show solidarity and in order to show dissent towards all the atrocities, all the injustices that is being perpetrated on women. That is the the base reason behind uploading such pictures. And when you look at its number, 53 million such black and white pictures with caption "Challenge Accepted" has been uploaded over the week, and 7.8 million with the caption or hashtag "Women Supporting Women," which is a huge number. I mean, it's become like a global digital revolution. But at the backdrop, we also have a lot of critiques coming up for the same, which some of them say that it's a very vague, thing to do with very little meaning attached to it. And there are also a group of women who just do it for sheer pleasure, not really knowing the reason behind it, and similar to men who doesn't know the actual reason behind such momentum in social media. Without knowing the reason is something that is sending out a very mixed, no message, and it is misrepresenting the movement all the more. And people showing criticism, I would just like to say that anything that has a noble cause behind and anything that does not hurt or harm anyone is not something to be criticized at. The entire movement is also criticized on the ground that women are actually posting too glamorous a photo for a cause. But I would like to point out here is that anything a woman takes up, like if you want to post a glamorous picture of yourself, if you think that a glamorous picture represents you, so be it. And if you want to post a very casual photo, an everyday photo of yourself, so that is how you represent yourself, and it is not something that to be pointed finger at, because that is how one may be feeling comfortable in representing or expressing themselves. And also I would like to state that such criticism coming from these group of people, I don't know who are these people, are also showing that any step taken by women, any bold step, any unique step towards voicing their opinion, voicing their dissent towards what is happening, crime against women, and their dissent towards the same is always suppressed, always hushed further. So this is also a very misogynist act on the part of those people, be it men or women, or I don't know who are these. Because when you look at digital revolutions such as this after the Me Too, I think this was one of the most biggest digital revolution that we saw. And given the situation now, we really don't know that tomorrow may all be about digital revolution or digital protests. Moving forward from rallies, gatherings, it might just be about digital protest, who knows. And this particular digital revolution also, brought forth the message that crime against women and atrocities against women is not something that is just confined to Turkey or to America. It is a global phenomena. It cuts across geographical boundaries. I'm sorry if you think India is alien to it. It is not. India is one of the most unsafe places for women, with number of female infanticides, rapes, murders every day. Just last week, the number of news I read, the number of news I also heard, the number of, even in shorts, a small news portal, like every day I would see some kind of murder or rape on women, and it was very disturbing week. And it's fine, it somehow coincided with the black and white movement that was going on, and it really made me think and come up with a video. And I've also written an article on women, crime against women and black and white movement. So starting from my own home state, that is Sikkim, Sikkim Chronicles, which is a very reputed online news portal, has also come up with a report stating that crime against women and children have increased after the lockdown in their own homes, which you can just see how unsafe home is also for women and children. And a 26-year-old woman living in Delhi, a Sikkimese woman, was died under very mysterious circumstances after falling off from a 5th floor building, and which was also found later that her ex-boyfriend must have been indulged in it. In a similar case, a 26-year-old very young woman, a nurse in Florida, an Indian from Kerala, was stabbed multiple times by her husband and ran over by a car. A similar incident where a woman in I think Noida, her husband ran over his SUV. So such cases, such disturbing cases are coming up every day, which does not receive front page attention in a newspaper, which does not receive as much time in a news media or news houses. I really don't know, but it really shows that such crimes are overlooked, or it's not given as much importance amidst the crashing economy or amidst the COVID pandemic. I really don't know, but that is not receiving as much importance. When you look at even workplaces, a 42-year-old and a 37-year-old man was actually, a woman filed a complaint against them because she was harassed at workplace in Delhi airport. So even there, women are not safe. And where news like, a 14-year-old woman was raped by a 19-year-old guy, and both of them are actually COVID patients in a similar hospital. Sorry, a girl, not a woman. So she was actually raped and sexually harassed by a guy who's also a teenager, 19-year-old. And doctors treating their COVID patients and sexual harassment of women in hospitals is also not something that is unheard of. Like right now. So these are the few disturbing cases we get to see every day. All the more through the recent week, there are such horrific and such disturbing new cases coming every day. And amidst the lockdown, there are also other issues that the women are battling with: socio-economic, political, medical, call it anything. First, when you look at domestic violence, when I actually made an intensive video for this channel, you can check it out. That was the first video. And I had already stated there that 500 and I think around 87 cases were registered against crime against women in National Commission for Women, out of which 293 were just domestic violence. But during the month of June, it received the highest number of crime against women. National Women's Commission received the highest, that is 2043 cases were registered, which was the highest in 8 months. Even cybercrime has increased, sadly, during the lockdown, because most of women are taking to online, Facebooking or anything that keeps them busy. So if they are a victim there as well, we are a victim there as well, who are mostly exposed to sextortion, and these people who are caged criminals are haunting women online. And when you also look at women in the medical field, when you look at medical attention for women, that is also very, overlooked, and it is underfunded, and gender neutral or gender, that caters to gender needs are not, available right now. And high rate of pregnancy, unsafe abortion, unsafe sex, unsafe deliveries are on the rise right now. So I really think that gender sensitive norms of medical facilities should be available. And there's also a high need for hygiene and sanitary items as of now, which is also very important. And there's a high rise of neo-mortality and maternal mortality rate right now, so that has also to be looked into. These are not areas that you can just overlook amidst whatever every day I just read about crashing economy and the concern or the new education policy. And come on, these are something that really needs importance, and that is to be catered to right now. A recent news that I read was a COVID patient mother actually delivered a child who was also infected. And recently one of my friends had written an article on a woman delivering her child, but she couldn't really touch her child because out of the fear of transferring coronavirus. So that was very sad to read on. And when you also look at economic aspects now, most of us have seen that there's reverse discrimination, and there are less jobs in the cities and more demand for jobs in rural areas. But even in rural areas, I think it's very difficult for women to find jobs which is so-called oriented towards them. So because most of the jobs in rural areas are looked upon as a masculine job, quote unquote. So women are also finding it very difficult to gain back their independence, which they may have been enjoying before the COVID lockdown. So looking at all these issues, and I would just like to say that the black and white picture does carry a huge meaning behind, not just confined to atrocities against women in Turkey or atrocities against women in India, but it caters to every other woman. And how can we help ourselves? Most of us are not influential people do not listen to us. So what is our job as women? I think we can just, from a very small level, very small scale, do whatever in our capacity we can. For instance, even uploading black and white pictures with such a heavy meaning behind is also your contribution towards it. Or either you can take to making videos, or either you can take to groundwork level, or work or support an NGO at such a crisis time, or you can also simply write and make the people aware of what all is happening. So anything from your level, anything from what you can do, a very small gesture can make a huge difference. For instance, at home, if you are facing inequality between your brother and yourself, you can just sit, talk to your parents and tell them that you feel very discriminated in comparison to your brother, and you feel not noticed, or you feel like your brother is getting more importance, you can just tell them and just tell them that you've been facing that and it's not fair on their part, in a very simple manner. If you have male friends or if you have guy friends who passes on sexist jokes or sexist remark at women passing by, so just tell them or enlighten them that that is not a right thing to do, being an educated individual, or if they're not educated, educate them towards what is, gender equality, and how such a small thing as passing a sexist remark, which sometimes we just make it so normal and we just normalize it, is also contributing towards atrocities and crime against women. So that is something we really need to look into, and this is something I wanted to convey to you all. Thank you very much, and have a good day.